again, so these cards go out of play and are replaced with these 10 cards from the expansion. But we flip the board. Okay, so Amundsen was 2 steps away. 2 steps away, so Amundsen is actually here. And Amundsen is at the pole. Yeah, Scott is there. And in order to make the final step, he will need his from card. Scott will need Terra Nova. If the opposing player gets the ship, so if that means that if Scott gets from, he has to give from to Amundsen and drop all of his cards except one. The same goes for Amundsen. If he gets Terra Nova, he has to give it to Scott and drop all of his cards except one. So we need to count also, well, don't have to count, but it has to be more than 15 cards here, so that the total is 25 or more. And now it's way more than 25, so we just shuffle them together. So now we also have another option. That is, when you go back, you can choose to discard the rightmost card and draw the top card of the deck into your hand. Instead of taking this, you can actually take this. This card is now a wild card for either a color or a symbol. Also, the compass is a wild card for either a color or a symbol. And now for Amundsen to get back, he will need to go in this route, and he will need a yellow dog. That means he needs a yellow card and a dog, or a yellow dog, to make this step, and he will need a green card and a crevasse card to get to this step, and so forth. And the last step is the from. And Amundsen has found his equipment, and Scott needs to make it to the pole still, and he has this compass which he needs to play, and that will move him back. Actually, the board stops here because there's a variant saying that if he goes below the 85th, he will instantly lose, but I'm not playing with that variant, that's too brutal, so he's play his cards and go back one. Amundsen is just taking this card. Scott needs now to play green. He goes there. He's back. I think he will lose tremendously now. It doesn't look good for him at all. At least there's some horses coming up, and he needs the horses. He'll play the good weather, and he will try to see if he can get a blue. He gets a blue, so he immediately moves one space. That's lucky. He needs luck. He will take these 2 cards because of the discard. I needed that piece of luck. Now Amundsen is ready. He is back to his 7 card hand limit again, of course, having found his equipment. Scott is close to the pole now. Perhaps he can get to the pole. Let's see. Now Amundsen will play these 2 as a yellow dog, moving in the first step. Terra Nova has appeared. Amundsen will try not to pick up Terra Nova, because then he has to drop all of his cards. Yeah. And Scott got Terra Nova at least. So Amundsen are playing this wild card as a green card and this as a crevasse. So that's a green crevasse. He can move there. Now Scott cannot take the option of drawing blindly here because he hasn't reached the pole yet. Six cards now for Scott. Can he come to the pole? Possible. And it's a wild card. Green, he needs a blue or a yellow. Draw this one, that's 7. He will now discard this card and draw blindly. Okay. Take these three. But you can take this card. I think Amundsen is getting there. I don't have to use this ability, I may use it. Discard these three cards to get these three cards. He will blindly draw this one. Oh, he gets from. No. Scott has to play that and go back. From. Again, he will draw blindly and hope for a dog. 4. Okay, so you can play this one and get there. Draw these three cards and get these three. So now Scott can actually get to the pole, playing these 4 cards. He is at the pole and he is starting to head back. And now we need to shuffle this deck. Dropping these 3 cards, taking these 3. Okay, so Scott is needing. Oh, I can just take this card. Amundsen will play this card, this as a dog and this as a blue, so that's a blue dog. He will move. This. And now Amundsen is playing this one, which is a red blizzard. And Scott can play this as a green blizzard. At least he's heading back. But for the last step, Amundsen is now playing from. So he will move the last step on board from, which he has borrowed from Nansen, under the false premises of going to the North Pole. Instead he headed to the South Pole. Turned out to be a historical outcome here. Scott is probably succumbing to cold in the Antarctica, while Fram is sailing home for glory. Thank you for watching, and I hope you get a little feel about how the game plays. See you soon!